Right, so I'm actually in my kitchen here as opposed to my garage, but it's good as a place as any to show you a drawing, I suppose. So I had a wee bit of grief with the exhaust system on my car lately. I have done so before, and like everything else, I've got two SX4s. I've had them for quite a few years now, and they all fail in the same way, right? So I thought it might be actually helpful to somebody. This is really going to only interest anybody with an SX4, but here's just a drawing from the manual. It's a bit convoluted how they've drawn it, but you can see the exhaust manifold itself down at the catalytic. There's an intermediate pipe here, and then it goes back this way. That's the middle pipe, as they call it, that goes back to the muffler assembly. So kind of does a bit of zigzag on the drawing, on the schematic, but in reality, front to back, of course. But where it typically fails, has been my experience, is actually at this intermediate pipe. As far as I know, all the lines are actually, all the pipes are actually stainless steel, so they're very durable. And I've never experienced a failure in any of the actual piping itself. But where it does fail is actually this intermediate pipe here. There's two seals on either end. There's two flanges on it, and there's two seals on either end of that flange. It's like a conical or a spherical seal that actually sits inside the cutout, the opposite cutout that's in the flange itself, of course. And it's made of lead, so as the pipe actually flexes to and fro over the course of the years, this actually essentially wears itself away to nothing, and then you end up with a pretty significant exhaust leak. So this is actually the part itself, what I'm talking about. And I got this from Rock Auto. Here's the part number, if you're interested. There's two of them on the car, one on the front and one on the aft flange of the intermediate pipe itself, as I said. And the hardware that actually attaches, this is the original hardware, but it'll be absolutely cooked by the time you extract it. Just a quick note on extracting it. Heat up with a torch. This is only propane. Ideally use MAP gas, it's a bit hotter, but you can manage with propane, I did. And then spray it down with some cold water, and I don't think the lighting is very good here, but it actually stratifies the rust off, and you should be able to extract the bolt relatively, and I was surprised it actually came out relatively easily. On these two flanges themselves, there's no nut, but there's actually two anchor nuts that are actually welded into the flange, on each flange from the factory. So those are going to be gone as well. So when it comes to the attach hardware, this is the kit. That's the part number for the kit. And here's what actually comes in the kit itself. So it comes with a bolt, a conical washer, a spacer, and a spring. When it's assembled, it looks like that. But it doesn't actually come with a nut. And as I said, in all likelihood, you're going to need a nut. That's not the correct nut. That's just there for demonstration purposes. So you'll need two of them, because there's two bolts on each flange. And as far as I can tell, I measured it up. It's an M10. And the pitch of the thread is 1.25. So you'll need two lock nuts suitable, something like this. This is, well, any type of lock nut, serrated ideally, so it stays in place. Something suitable for exhaust work anyway. Or two jam nuts might actually do the trick for you as well. So I thought I'd pass those details on. The prices are very reasonable. So there's the gaskets. They're only like, well, that was for two of them, I guess. $8 and change for two of them. That's American, I believe, and the bolts were very reasonable as well. So it was like $10 each and $8 each Canadian. So anyway, I hope that's of some use to somebody, and I'll leave it at that. Right, cheers.